you may find yourself tuning in on a Wednesday night, wondering what you will see, wondering what stars will appear, and then you see another 10-man match and a referee that doesn't enforce the rules, and you think, what's going on? And then you see that the women are in the death slot, and Darby is throwing himself all around the ring. And as the days go by, we see that AEW continues to do the same things they've been doing for 7 years. And as the day goes by, we see that Tony Khan will just say it. It's the same as it ever was, the same as it ever was, the same as it ever was. It's all great. Thanks, guys. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dynamite from Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah, they had a crowd that certainly was active. And this show was active. It was actively grating on me at some points. I'm declaring right now that on May 27th, that will probably be the last AEW review that I do for the string that I've had. I think I've maybe missed literally 2. I have missed 2 AEW Dynamites since its inception. And that was either due to not feeling all that well, or I think there was one time where it was a major power outage. I don't remember the exact details, but that's a pretty damn good streak. But this show has some good stuff that I like, and then it has some stuff that I want to like more, and then they talk me out of it. That being said, I will review AEW Double or Nothing, but guys, I think it's about time I take a little bit of a break after the end of this month. So, Excalibur, Shivani, and Taz on commentary. MJF is not thrilled about possibly putting his hair on the line. And then, hey, look, Vegeta, more bald people. Had to do that for Derb. Not that he's watching this. He is a very busy man. But had to do that because DBZ abridged. Why not? So, we have Adam Copeland, we have Christian Cage, we have the Bucks, and we have Orange Cassidy against FTR and the 2 remaining War Doggers. Like Raw Doggers, except, well, I don't know. Tekla would be out for quite a while if we have some Raw Dogging. That being said, David Toe Finlay, as they said over in New Japan, and Clark Connors. Fortunately, Gabe Kidd is not on this show. Unfortunately, he's injured, but I'm just glad he's not there. And they had Tommaso Ciampa. By the way, we just had Tommaso Ciampa. I believe his entrance started this, so I think everybody else is already in the ring. So, nevertheless, Rick Knox is the referee, so you know what that means. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. No rules are enforced. And I will say this much, at least Christian Cage wrestled like a very cagey veteran, as it were. And Clark Connors got pinned in 20 minutes or so. If you're putting the Bucks and you're putting Orange Cassidy in the same match, and I'm sorry, Clark Connors is a good athlete. David Finlay is fine, but this is the same shit that they were doing in New Japan when they were part of Bullet Club, War, whatever the hell. Apparently, they're still doing this whole Ospreay Death Riders thing. They let Daniel Garcia talk, and they're in the desert. Could this whole thing be just buried in the desert like the Filthy Animals buried Ric Flair? I think it was the Filthy Animals. So, there we go. Stadium Stampede setup. We have the demand. I am not really demanding much from the demand except to have Bishop Khan please do something viable. Apparently, he's wanting to be in the C2, the Continental Classic. You know what? Yeah, please. That may not be until November, but at least it's something to do. So anyway, it's going to be the demand along with Mark Davis and Andrade, who really seems like he'd rather be literally anywhere else. And Finlay and Clark Connors. Okay, so that's your team set. It is a 14-man Stadium Stampede, so that thing is going to go probably an hour. Speedball then beat a guy named Westbrook. And much like the championship accolades of Russell Westbrook, this guy fumbled in the ropes, and I hope he's okay. That looked really, really bad. I'm not familiar with the guy, but that, oh boy. Maybe it was nerves. I don't know. I hope he's all right. Speedball won, so there you go. Kevin Knight then was out there. I think he was already out there for the open challenge against the HGH machine, Brian Cage, who has not been seen in 14 months. Look, the guy is in incredible shape, and the guy can do some very agile, athletic stuff. The problem is, if you've seen one Brian Cage match, you've pretty much seen them all. When you saw him in Lucha Underground, when you saw him in Impact, I think in 2017, 2018, maybe it's 2018, 2019, I don't remember the exact time, but I know that he suffered a neck or back injury at some point that took him out for quite a bit. And ever since then, ever since coming to AEW, I mean, he had that stuff with Team Taz that really wasn't all that good. And honestly probably shouldn't be cutting promos. But he has been often injured, and apparently he signed for a few more years. I'm all about people getting that money, especially giving up their bodies in this athletic line of, tough entertainment. But again, you've seen one Brian Cage match, you've seen them all. UFO splash, there you go. So Kevin Knight got the victory. Knight gives Speedball a pep talk, and Speedball says, Darby or Takeshita, I want next. He sounds like Krillin, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed that. He's a Canadian Krillin. You're welcome. So, Owens Men's Cup match, or tournament bracket, it's 8 in the men, 8 in the women, which means the finals will be 2 people, 1 Owen Cup. You're welcome. Samoa Joe and Will Ospreay, Mark Davis and Jack Perry, and then Swerve and Bandito, and then Claudio and Brody. I imagine it will probably be down to Ospreay and Swerve, I guess. I wouldn't mind being down to Ospreay and Brody. And a Jack Perry pre-tape on the tournament. We're just zipping through this thing because it's either get really angry about things or just gloss over stuff that I didn't really enjoy. Will Ospreay versus Ace Austin. They are talking me out of rooting for Will Ospreay. I mean, more so than when he was with that Robinson fucker at that Pro Wrestling Eve show. Paul Robinson, or whatever the fuck his name was, Paul Reiser. This is a horror movie. So, look, Ace Austin can do great moves. And Ospreay, if he's trying to get a more grounded style so he doesn't, have the inability to walk by the age of 40, fine. But this whole thing with the Death Riders, again, either he's, and I did a giant rant on it a couple weeks ago, I don't remember. But either Ospreay is, doing this to get the, the Death Riders from within, or he just feels that the people that tried to cripple him can teach him the best. So either Ospreay is an idiot, or Moxley's a bigger idiot than he already, comes across. So that being said, there were good moves in this, but I knew Ace Austin was going to lose, and not that I wanted Ace to win, at least not in this match, but he has been losing so much that he, after a bunch of moves, he got a hidden blade and then an armbar won it. Oh boy, Jon Moxley, you know who is so great at death jitsu. Yeah, death of my goddamn, patience with this whole show. And then the off show up. Samoa Joe's like, you could have chose us, but you didn't. Then they show up. Then the Death Riders showed up to save Will, and I just immediately started hitting fast forward because I hate this whole thing. I don't mind them trying to rebuild Will, but the thing is they're going about it in a really dumb way. Dumb to me. There are people that like it. There are people in the crowd that were cheering for it. I really hope that the North Carolina Tar Heels never have another winning season because you wanted to cheer the Death Riders. I don't even think they're in Asheville, but that being said, MJF hands Callis the ring, and hopefully Takeshita wins, but he didn't mean any of the pep talk he gave him. Andrade just is floating around now. Mark Briscoe is back. Unfortunately, he's still with the conglomeration. Why is this group a thing? Why is Tony Khan obsessed with having groups that don't mean anything? Well, whatever. Briscoe wants Ciampa. Apparently in the worst way, the best way. I don't know. It's hard to tell with Mark Briscoe. Women's Owen Cup. Persephone, who apparently is back from whatever injury she had. Good. And versus Hazuki. I don't know who that is. A friend of mine sent me a picture. Not familiar with her. Willow versus Windsor, that's a lot of W's. Only one is going to get the W. Mina Shirakawa and Athena. Gee, I wonder who's going to win that. And Sky and Sareed. Okay. It should be Willow. It should be Willow that goes on to, now it might be Windsor. My problem is, though, Willow's the TBS champion. Have her go for the double championship thing. And then if she beats Thekla, then guess what? You can have her give up the TBS title. And there you go. That being said, we go on to the women, or we continue with the women. We have the Triangle Madness. We have Thekla, and Julia and Sky Blue versus the Birds, the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, and Hikaru Shida. Why is Windsor not even concerned about her husband? Again, maybe Will's just trying to bust them from within. If you're trying to outsmart the Death Riders and you can't do it after 5 minutes, then you probably need to find another line of work. Thekla really is a shining star for you to see. Sky Blue really needs to slow down. Because there was a spot in the crowd, you know what I'm talking about, where it looked dangerous. I hope she's okay. Like, I know she came back from that foot injury, ankle injury, whatever it was, and she hasn't been quite the same since. I think she needs to find another finish other than the code blue. And I like Sky Blue. Seems like the goth type look actually works for her. She seems genuinely nice, and she's trying, but she's got to take it easy. Later, Tekla hits one of them with the belt. I don't remember which one, and causes a DQ. And then one ref got misted. One ref got in the face from Julia. And Sheeta was like, you know what? You stay there. I'll go home. Willow and Thunder Rosa shows up. I don't remember who else it was that showed up. Mina Shirakawa, I think might have been. There we go. So, all right. Thunder Rosa's back on the goddamn television. I think she's going to be at a CMLL show. I know she had like a video or like a pre-tape interview at one point, but it's just... Thunder Rosa's been at this for a while and had that back injury where she was out for a bit. Actually out for over a year. And I hope that she can continue to, wrestle, but I'm worried that she's going to be winding this down and just doing backstage stuff. Whatever. That being said, I just hope she gets more opportunities to shine. Rush needs to issue an apology. Dralistico apparently stood up for the abuser that's jailed now, the one that tried to kill Stephanie Vaquer, so hopefully he doesn't make it out of jail. There's some stupid broad that's in AAA that hopefully is forced to apologize. And anybody that's stuck up for that goddamn guy. I can't remember his name right now because it's late, and quite frankly, he just deserves to rot. But yeah, if you stuck up for Stephanie Vaquer's accuser, you deserve the absolute goddamn worst karma. Yeah, Roosh, you just deserve to stand there and just do packages and get the Hearn somewhere. Darby took on Takeshita in a match where Take tossed Darby around a whole bunch. He got thrown into the corner looking up at the spotlight, and then back body drop and a Blue Thunder tossed to the floor. Why? So a German off the top for 2. Okay, by the way, this was supposed to be Okada versus Darby. Apparently Okada flew back to Japan because of personal matters. I've knocked Okada's work as being subpar. At least lately. That does not, hold a candle to whatever's going on. So hopefully it can be addressed. Whatever's going on, I hope he's okay. I hope his family's okay, or wherever the personal matters are. And that's all I got to say about that. Take didn't use the ring, and then we get a near fall. And Take really deserves to be fucking rewarded for this. And I'm not saying like Darby should have lost. I was there for Darby's title win. You can go back and you can check that review out if you want. You can check out the following Collision review because I stayed for that taping. But the thing is Take has just been spinning his wheels. And this whole thing with Okada, personal matters aside, has taken way too long to the point where I'm like, okay, it's going to happen, and it's at least 3 months too late. So, a code red, we got that off the top. We got the Last Supper for 2, coffin drop outside. Scorpion on the steps, sure, why not at this goddamn point? Coffin drop to the floor, another, and the Deathlock got locked on. We got a rope break, and then more coffin drops, 1, 2, 3, and there we go. So MJF shows up for the contract signing. Basically, we get bald chance. He says Darby will never win the title again after he wins it back. And he does eventually sign it. He attacks Darby, cheap shots him with the ring, and was going to tease the tombstone off the top, and Kevin Knight saved him. I'll do my predictions next week. It's apparently a 3-hour show, so I might actually do that and then do my predictions afterwards, even though I try to bundle them, or I have tried to bundle them recently. Unless they're on a humiliation arc for MJF, I really think MJF's going to beat Darby because I don't know who else Darby gets to feud with after this. He's had title matches every single week. He had one against Pac at Fairway to Hell, which was a cool setup. I really think MJF's taking the title back. Otherwise, they've been teasing it enough. If they want to go with him being bald, it'd be a choice. He could do the Buddy Roberts thing, like they did with Iceman King Parsons. Nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rittland. Until we see what AEW does in New York in about a week and a half, happy trails to you.